All right, let's just dive right into this explainer and completely shift how we view maintenance. For way too long, maintenance has been treated as this necessary evil, just a pure cost center on the balance sheet that executives constantly want to shrink. But today, we're going to reframe that entirely. We're going to look at the hard data and see how maintenance, when it's actually executed with proactive planning, is a massive profit driver. It literally protects and expands your company's bottom line.
To kick things off, I want to challenge you right out of the gate with a question that really sits at the heart of this whole topic. What do you actually do with extra labor? Think about it. Let's say you implement better planning and scheduling, and suddenly your maintenance team becomes super productive. You've essentially found extra personnel, right? Because your existing team is just getting way more done in less time. So what happens next? Honestly, your answer to this question determines whether your plant merely survives or if it absolutely thrives.
Well, very often, management falls for what we can call the productivity myth. The huge temptation is to look at that newly gained productivity and think, awesome, we can allow some layoffs, shrink the headcount, and show an immediate financial savings on the books. But relying on simple cost savings by cutting your workforce, it's incredibly short-sighted. You're basically sacrificing real long-term plant performance just for a quick one-time bump in the budget. Now, you might be wondering, why exactly is reducing that headcount such a dangerous game? It all comes down to the unseen proactive backlog. In almost every single company that doesn't have a mature planning system, there is a literal mountain of low-priority proactive work just waiting to be done. And crazy enough, it's often not even written up on work orders. Operations teams get so used to this chaotic, reactive environment that they just stop reporting the minor issues. They figure, hey, maintenance won't fix it anyway until it completely breaks down, so why bother? That unseen backlog is an absolute ticking time bomb for your plant's reliability.
Section 1. Leveraging your extra labor.
So, if we aren't firing people just to save a quick buck, how should we be using them? It's kind of a fascinating story. Back in 2008, Jack Yan Chigai over in Shanghai actually had the source handbook for our explainer today translated into Chinese. Now, why would China, with its relatively low labor costs at the time, care so deeply about improving labor productivity? Because improved productivity isn't the final goal. The real goal is what you do with that freed up time. This contrasts two totally different corporate mindsets. On one side, we've got the reactive company. If they suddenly get extra labor, they just use those people to run around and put out all the sudden fires. But on the flip side, a world-class company, one that already has its reactive work under control, leverages that extra labor to invest. They invest heavily in training to boost labor skills, and they execute proactive projects to actually improve their equipment and work processes. Section 2. Proactive versus reactive maintenance. Defining the battlefield. Let's talk about where the real money is made and lost. We're looking at the true cost of reactive maintenance, which, let's be honest, basically means waiting for things to break before you bother fixing them. When a machine fails out of nowhere, it makes systems completely unavailable to operations. Production just halts. But it gets worse. Sudden failures almost always cause unintended collateral damage to the surrounding equipment, and that means the eventual repair requires much more extensive and expensive maintenance than if you had just planned the work out in advance. Reactive work directly eats into your reliable production capacity. It's a killer. But then, on the flip side, we have proactive maintenance. This is that lower priority work that, sure, you could technically put off, but if you do it today, it completely heads off the need for that devastating reactive work tomorrow. Doing this proactive work is the actual mechanism for eventually eliminating reactive maintenance altogether. It's absolutely the secret weapon of world-class facilities. Section 3. The path to reliable capacity and building bottom-line results. Okay, I want you to walk up this ladder with me. It's like a step-by-step formula. Step 1. You implement strong planning and scheduling. Step 2. As a direct result of that, your labor productivity increases. Step 3, and this is crucial. Instead of cutting staff, you use that newly gained productivity to complete more proactive work, fixing things before they break. Step 4, because you're doing all this proactive work, you encounter much less reactive work, way fewer fires to put out. And finally, Step 5, you arrive at the Holy Grail, available, highly reliable production capacity. This flowchart from the source material just brilliantly illustrates the objective. Notice the two paths feeding up into complete, more proactive work. On the left, planning and scheduling drives your increased productivity. On the right, you're actively generating those proactive work orders.
They meet right in the middle to complete that work, pushing upward to reduce the reactive work, and culminating at the very top in reliable capacity. Increased productivity is not the end goal, guys. It is just the vehicle to get you to proactive maintenance. Section 4, the 110-100 rule, staggering financials. So we absolutely have to look at the financial payoff of getting this right, because this is the exact math that management needs to see. Think of it like a giant multiplier. After spending $1 on the initial engineering and construction of an asset, every $10 you spend on proper, proactive maintenance saves a massive $100 on bottom line profit. Think about that for a second. You aren't just saving pennies here. Proactive maintenance yields a 10-fold return to your company's actual profit margin. Actually, wait. I need to give you a massive warning right here. And it's something that frequently catches storeroom managers and budgeting groups totally off guard. As your newly productive workforce begins to tackle that enormous, unseen, proactive backlog we talked about earlier, your maintenance parts costs will likely increase initially. Why? Because your team is actually doing the work now. They're out there replacing worn belts, changing out filters, upgrading bearings. Using more spare parts at this stage is actually a fantastic sign that your plant is getting healthier. Section 5. Investing in plant performance. Let's ground all of these abstract concepts in reality for a minute and look at the sheer scale of these savings. We'll use a specific example from the source material, an electric utility operating a 1,000 megawatt steam system. The numbers are just staggering. In this scenario, just a tiny 1% improvement in plant availability is worth over $300,000 per year in power transaction capability. And a mere 100 BTU per kilowatt hour improvement in efficiency, that's worth over $600,000 every single year. These are hidden revenues locked away inside your plant's potential, just waiting for proactive maintenance to unleash them. But let me give you the heaviest hitting math of this entire explainer: $18 million. For that exact same utility, if they achieve just a single 1% sustainable improvement in availability, it means they don't have to build 10 megawatts of future power plant capacity to meet demand. At typical construction prices of $1,800 per kilowatt, that deferred capital investment saves the company $18 million. You do not get that by laying off 2 mechanics to save a quick salary. You get that by planning proactive maintenance. I want to wrap up our explainer today with a really powerful quote right from the source material. Be assured that more maintenance is an investment in better plant performance. Do not be short-sighted. Look, skipping out on maintenance is a guaranteed recipe for lessening plant performance. So take a hard look at your own operations. Ask yourself, are we just squeezing our budgets and putting out daily fires? Or are we truly leveraging our productivity to build reliable, unstoppable capacity? It's time to rethink the true value of your maintenance team. Thanks for exploring this with me today.